They are in the House for this speech ahead of Joe Biden's essential passing of the torch, which is going to be coming up, we presume soon, but obviously, as you two were just talking about, we are getting well into the midnight hour. Let's walk over this way and talk to one of those Ohio delegates we were mentioning just a moment ago, and she's taking a photo because we had to talk to her because of the hat. And I have to ask Helen, why the hat? You know Trump intimately in a way that most people don't, which is your experience with him in the courtroom. Why is he, in your view, a danger if he gets back in that Oval Office?
Because Project 2025.
Senator Kelly, this state is going to be so critical as the kind of this new pathway that has opened up with Kamala Harris atop the ticket. What is it going to take for her to win in your home state?
Well, she is going to win our state, and that's because Arizonans know what's at stake here in this election.
That is a state that has not gone for a Democrat since Barack Obama won it in 2008. And so the outstanding question is, with Kamala Harris on the top of the ticket, with the enthusiasm that has brought, with the potential to activate black voters across the state, could North Carolina also go into the blue column? I'm getting the hook, so I have to wrap. But Senator, thank you. And just noting that she and a lot of the women on the floor tonight are in their suffragette whites as well.
Suffragist whites.
Suffragists, thank you.
Yes.
Susan, back to you. Now, if you turn around back toward me, this is the New York delegation spot. So they have a pretty good view from the floor of the convention hall itself. And so they'll sit in here throughout the course of the night. Now, one of the delegates that is kindly standing by for us is Councilwoman Gail Brewer, who is just currently making sure I don't run into someone. Councilwoman, thank you for chatting with us briefly. Kamala Harris talking Thursday night. What do you want to hear from her?
I think two things. One is, how is she going to reach some of the people that are hard to reach? Young people, people of color.
When I pressed Jeffries on whether or not he believes Kamala Harris gives them a better shot at winning those seats, he didn't really answer the question directly. He argued that under Joe Biden, Democrats had a really good midterm. That may well be the case, but they did not have a really great midterm in some of those competitive seats in New York, and that's ultimately where it seems this fight over the House is going to be made. Of course, we have seen New York Democrats try to invest heavily in making sure that they do not see a repeat of 2022 in 2024. We're close to, and I don't mean any offense, Tim, we are close to the land here of Wisconsin, so note the cheeseheads. But just next door is North Carolina, and I have to say, Brenda Pollard here, I think you've interviewed her before, and she has quite a dazzling hat of her own. So, Brenda, explain the get-up here.
This is a collection of 5 DNC conventions.
You were, as you know, talked about quite a lot. Another governor got the job. How do you think Tim Walz is going to do?
So, Tim Walz is my friend. He is the governor that people like to be around because he's the kind of person who not only is smart, but he says what he thinks.
Senator Schumer is already kind of hinting at some of what they expect to do. Bernie Sanders is now walking into the arena, I should say. But Schumer's already hinted at some of what he'd like to do, which is including potentially gutting the filibuster on certain measures to try to get things like abortion rights done. Philadelphia and those ring counties around it are going to be make or break for winning this election. What's going on back home?
You know, Kevin, in the last month, there's just been a sea change.